Long time spent chasing.
Obviously, you've been at this for some time, but give us a potted history about maybe the last couple of years, where your music has come from and where you're up to now.
Basically, I was lead singer in a couple of bands, first of all. And then I think it was last year sometime I decided to start doing the solo stuff.
Right.
As a natural progression, just because it was, I wanted to continue with the music. I've got kids and stuff, so I didn't have the time to commit to the whole band thing. And I was writing songs, so it just seemed the natural thing to do to go out on my own. And then earlier this year, Scruff of the Neck Records gave me a chance to release a couple of singles.
Right.
And from there, it's just snowballed, basically.
So what was the single that was released, and how did that go down then?
It was bigger than I expected.
Right.
It was a bit of a weird. It was like a collaboration album. It was a compilation. There was 4 bands and myself, which was good working with bands, because you feel very lonely sometimes doing acoustic music, just sat in a room on your own and kind of not working with anyone. So it gave us a chance to, meet new people and get audiences together and stuff. So the single launch was epic, obviously in front of everybody's fans and stuff. The place was rammed. It was really good. After that, like I said, it's just snowballed. I played Academy 3 shortly after.
Right.
I've got some radio performances coming up and some big gigs, and there is a big gig coming up in September, which we've not got the final details for yet, but
so
watch this space. Yeah. Watch this space. Yeah, that's gonna be it. And hopefully I'm going to get another EP out by autumn winter time. So yeah, lots to look forward to.
Gave my lose for nonsense sale. Constantly change your rules are only there for us to break.
So in terms of an acoustic artist, you talked before about probably your comparisons, but are these some more your influences really, the likes of Paul Weller and other people are thinking that you have some?
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to all sorts. I mean, I've gone through all sorts of phases where I've listened to kind of dance music and a lot of Massive Attack and Chemical Brothers and stuff like that when I was younger. And then a lot of indie stuff, I was about when the whole Oasis thing came about, so I listened to a lot of that. And then I started getting more into metal, and so it's kind of a combination of all the different genres of music that I've been listening to over time. But everybody keeps giving me this Paul Weller comparison, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, he's a god, isn't he? So, it's a decent comparison, but I don't see it myself.
No.
But I've heard it lots of times, so,
I get all the celebrity comparisons as well. I never see it myself. I know what you mean. But the main thing is about your music is where your ideas coming from, because you've been writing your music, like I said, quietly at home with the look at being a family man.
Yeah.
But now, has that changed now that you're really pushing the music forward again?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the writing's always been the same. It's writing from personal experience.
Yeah.
Unless I think of sort of a little story to sort of write about, or something that just comes off the top of my head. But there's a couple of songs that are about Manchester that I've got. Manchester was Spending a While, which was a tune I did a while ago now.
Right.
And that's sort of celebrating the more, just going out, enjoying yourself, interest in nightlife and stuff like that. Whereas Rabbit Holes, at the time, I'd kind of been spending a lot of my time around kind of, rougher areas, so to speak, with a lot of pubs that had closed down and stuff like that. And when you're walking around, it kind of creates a mood in your head. So when you write about it, I mean, a lot of people, it was Noel Gallagher who said, my songs are about whatever you want them to be about. And hopefully when people listen to my tunes, they can take whatever they want from them.
Constantly change your rules are only there for us to break. See it fail.
What's the big idea now to moving forward, working with other people?
Well, I've got some collaborations coming up. I've done some collaborations in the past, but they've mainly been with friends or people that I've worked with before. So I've got a couple of bands that I've been working with closely. Hopefully, if we're all not too busy collectively, we can get something going. But yeah, it's just about carrying on with the music. Obviously, I want to try and integrate, like I said, so there's been some piano on some of my tracks. I want to try and integrate that into the live set. Maybe get a loop pedal going and make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a couple of collaborations coming up with a couple of other solo artists. So hopefully I can get them down. But yeah, the next thing's the EP, which hopefully I'll be getting done for the autumn time.
Right. So do we have a title for the EP as yet?
Not as of yet. I'm still in the writing stage. So
Okay,
I've got like 15 songs that are all up in the air at the minute. So you know, once I've picked the best ones, then yeah, I'll get some names down. So.
And I know we're heading towards, well, it's kicked off already, the festival season. So
Yeah.
are we going to be seeing you out there somewhere?
Funnily enough, in a couple of weeks, I'm playing at the King's Ransom in Sale for Scruff of the Net Records, which is the pop-up festival.
Right.
I played it last year. Everyone has to come to this festival.
Right.
The lineup is just silly. Like every act. So there's a guy on before me, which is quite daunting. He's called John Ainsworth, and if you've not seen him, you have to see this
Right.
guy. He's amazing. David Liversidge, who's another top acoustic act, he's playing there as well. A whole massive lineup of bands: the High Nines, Mercury Field, the Reverse, Skinny Roller.
Right.
The
So
list
this pop-up
goes on.
festival is the one to
it's
attend.
an all-day event held outside the King's Ransom in Sale. Last year it was a really big success, so hopefully this year it's going to be even better.
Constant change.
How are people keeping track of what you're doing now as well? Where they're finding you online?
Everywhere, Twitter, it's all / Matt Friars, so Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation.
Right.
I use all of those. But yeah, Facebook's the main one. I mean, Facebook's got really good recently, and with certain pages you can attach sort of your gig listings and
Yeah.
stuff to it. So all my information is on there. So if anybody wants to find out where I'm playing next or what's coming up, then Facebook's the place to go.
Seed of sin lies away from all these ludicrous usual is fake. See it fade. Shadows are rapidly falling around a sympathy serenade. Screaming and screaming at all, beating and beating away.